Welcome to Barranco, home to some of Lima's most exciting food offerings. For lunch today, I've come to Casa Tupac to dine at Kjolle. After arriving, I take a quick wander around the gardens before being led inside. The ground floor here is home to another restaurant, Central, but more on that another time. For now, it's upstairs and into their dining room. I'm shown to my table, and honestly, it's got to be the largest table I've ever been sat at, topped entirely in stone and with a front row seat to the past, a view I will never get bored of. Once I'm settled in, Manuel comes over to introduce both the space and the menu. There's just one option here, 8 courses, priced at 988 soles. For drinks, I opted for a mixed pairing and left things with a sommelier Jerry. I had heard great things about the in-house creations and was keen to try some of them. A towel was brought over to clean my hands, and not long after, their bread service arrives.
So we have mamey and boy. We have this bread that is made of plusquina. It has different spices and turmeric, and because of the turmeric, the bread is yellow color. Here, this batter is mixed with cabuya. Cabuya is an agave, so we do a syrup. Here you have puchuguta. It's a traditional sauce made of chilies and herbs, and this is a main poi. And then we have this non-alcoholic drink. This is made of poi. So we have the flour koi right here.
Wow, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's got like a powder on top. Very interesting. Super mild chili, really flavorful, but there's a huge underlying sweetness there as well. This butter, by the way, is just incredible. Absolutely love it. This is an excellent bread course. Also lovely glassware. So light and thin.
So the first one here, we have a mix of 2 different ingredients, cedron, which is lemon verbena, and also we have sabayo loche. Sabayo loche is a Peruvian squash.
Very refreshing. It's light citrus. You get a bit of saltiness coming through in the end. Really lovely glassware. I can see as well they've got a dry age fridge over there as well.
We have corvina and clams. We cover with a sauce we made up with pacay. We use the full and the green seeds to prepare the sauce. We cover with different texture with sweet potato leaf and kiwi.
The whole dish overall, it's almost like a beautiful looking ceviche. At this point, I had very little idea of what many of these ingredients actually were. So they brought over a fresh pacay for me to taste. And despite having a bit of a fluffy texture, the mouthfeel is more akin to lychee or mangosteen, while the flavour is light, sweet and delicate. They go above and beyond here. Excellent. Super fresh. There's citrus, there's earthiness. Kind of dish you can just eat bowls of it. I'm going to be asking lots of questions because everything's very new to me. These guys are just fantastic.
This is our first culture of a pairing, and it's called Costa Amazonia or coastal rainforest. We have infusion pisco with some different citrus peels and also duck fat. Finally, I'm gonna add here another oil made of achiote. Achiote is a type of a red color seed that grows in the upper jungle of Peru. This oil is going to add some smoky flavors.
So we have our next one, duck. This is cured in citrus peels. We have a sauce made of Amazonian nut, bawaja nut. This comes from Madre de Dios in the Amazon. Then we have this green foam of muña. Muña is Andean meat and seared.
The creaminess coming from that sea urchin, oh my god, it's wonderful. Very interesting preparation of duck. It's great. You can taste that intense nuttiness coming through there. It's like a nut sorbet. This is confusing for me because it's got the same ingredients across 2 dishes, but they're so different. Okay, next one's called many tubers, yuca or shapapa. I don't even know how to pronounce half this stuff. Also, all the presentation of the cutlery, everything's different. It's not just, you know, the cold cutlery down in front of you. It's presented on a plate, or in this case, a bowl.
Here we have a wine from Bolivia, a small project from the south of 3,000 meters above sea level. So we have this grape called Moscatel.
We have our next one, mini tubers. As you know, we have more than 5,000 tubers. So we use mashua, subuyucos, yellow and pink color. We have yacon and sachapapa. Sachapapa is a purple cote, but is the one that Pia is adding to the plate.
The idea is you can mix every tuber and root around with a purple cream and enjoy it. And then you can try in front that little part that is made with oyucos.
I don't think I've ever eaten food this kind of colour, but the first thing that hits me is this wonderful creaminess. Almost like a sweet, nutty creaminess. And obviously the gorgeous textures, the crunchiness. This is wonderful, and I've got no idea what's going on. It's so vibrant. There's almost a milkiness to it as well. So unique. Honestly, I'm blown away. And then this, one bite. Crunchy, sweet, creamy. So those vegetable ribbons, I know it's not, but if I had to compare it to anything, it's almost like very thin ribbons of beetroot or other kind of sweet root vegetables you sometimes get. The purple beets, the yellow beets. That's what it reminds me of. Oh, beautiful. That's excellent.
This one here is non-alcoholic beverage, and we use a fruit called acerola with another ingredient called paico, a very aromatic plant which is used in the Andes. This one here is off the menu. French wine from a region called Arbois. The grade here is Sauvignon. We have a wine from 1995, aged 3 years inside a French pasta.
So we have our next one, scallops and tarabe. You know that tarabe is a superfood nowadays. So we have in front of you scallops. This is cooked in anlaquilimo, is a type of red chili very used for ceviches. We have bell peppers and tarabe. In front we have fresh scallops with penel and duhupi. Duhupi comes from the fermentation of cassava. The acerola is going with this one, and the wine is going with the milk.
So straight away you get that aroma of the sweetness, the chili. I want to say something that's probably going to be super offensive to Peruvian cuisine. I'm almost getting like aromas of an Italian spice. I don't know how else to put it. That's a compliment, by the way, not an insult. Perhaps an insult to the Italians. Oh, this is great. This is so thick, jammy flavor, texture to it. The sweetness, very fragrant, very herbaceous. And then next up is their scallops with fennel and chuki. I don't know what that is, but even the fennel here tastes different. Fresh scallops, a little bit of chili powder with a very mild citrus dressing and some lovely crunchiness from the fennel. They said this is made with kind of like a cherry variety. It doesn't taste like any kind of cherry I've ever had before. Fresh, much more acidic, and yeah, slightly carbonated. Lovely. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what's been going on this entire menu. All I know is I love it.
So who's behind all of this? Kjolle is the brainchild of Chef Pia Leon and celebrates the incredible diversity of ingredients found across Peru. Before opening Kjolle, Pia worked at Astra di Gaston, El Cela de Camroca, before joining Central in 2009, working under Fidelio Martinez. Over the following decade, she worked her way up to head chef and, along the way, fell in love with and married Fidelio. Then, in 2018, she decided to go solo and open Kjolle, named after the Andean tree known for its vibrant orange blossoms. The space here exudes an almost spa-like feel, with natural woods, huge amounts of light, and a very zen, calming playlist.
So this one right here is a wine from Brazil. Vinhas do Tempo is the name of this winery. The Chardonnay headed by a place called Montebello. This winemaker used to live in Burgundy. The barrel comes from Versaldas by.
So we have our next one, lobster. We have it in a sauce made of charapita chili, a chili from the Amazon. Thrown on your left, we have cecina and bellaco. Cecina is a smoked pork, and bellaco is a type of banana. And then we have this warm dough, and this is filled with tupra. Recommendation for use is to over the crack, and then you mix this two right. You crack the circle, and then you put everything on top of the lobster.
Wow, there's just so much going on here. It just looks like almost like a tortellini. Wow. Then next he said to mix these two. Okay, flavor-wise, absolutely fantastic. It's super meaty. There's a hint of spice coming through. The lobster is cooked to perfection. The only thing I'm not a fan of is the texture of this dish that was sitting on top of the pork dish. Once it gets hydrated with that foam that was inside, it's almost got a slight chewy texture to it. Flavor-wise, perfection. Absolutely love it. So much depth and flavor to it. And I already know what I want to be doing afterwards. Bread, butter, that sauce. Oh, all day long. The texture of the lobster as well just completely falls apart in your mouth. Oh my god. There's a lovely underlying sweetness there as well.
That's what we mean to save a piece of bread.
The disc that was on top of it, what's that made from?
The bellaco. Bellaco is this banana from the Amazon, from the jungle.
The texture was a bit interesting for me. It almost reminds me of like when you have dehydrated products to get it crispy.
Yeah.
But then when it rehydrates, a slightly chewy,
Yes.
sticky texture mouthfeel. Interesting, but that foam.
And it has pork.
Next one here is a non-alcoholic beverage, the limón rugoso.
We have beef ribs. This one is cooked slowly for 16 hours. It's covered by tumbo. Tumbo is a fruit, passion fruit family. We have embraced the textures of white and purple corn. In front we have the same beef, but this one is cured for 3 weeks. We have yellow chilies and lima bean.
So we're at the final savory course, I think it is. Cow rib. Right, they did say to start with aged beef. That beef was so clean. It's just pure beef. Next up is the... Ready?
First note you get is this burst of herbaceousness. Straight away, that's followed by the sweet, succulent, deeply caramelized beef short rib. And then comes the creaminess of this bean underneath. That is delightful. And you get the crunchy textures from the corn. Also, look at the intricacy of this almost lace kind of work. Oh my goodness. I feel it's criminal that they've given such a small portion of this. This needs to be a full rack of ribs, not just one rib cut in half. That is just absolute melt in your mouth. Beefy, umami, rich, creamy. And then you know it already. Bread, sauce. I think that needs a bit of butter. Nobody's ever going to disagree with that. I need the whole rack.
I know. This one again is a non-alcoholic beverage, and we have two different ingredients here. The first one is called macho, the potato that grows in the Andes of Peru, more than 3,000 meters above sea level, and also mixed with a lot of fruit called membrillo. You may know this one as squints.
It literally smells like beetroot juice. Tastes like beetroot juice as well. I do have to say, it's not as sweet as you'd expect beetroot juice to be. On the nose, it's got more of that profile of that sweet beetroot. But it's slightly mellowed in comparison on the palate.
So you enter on the sweetest part of and here we'll find mashua. So in the picnics you will find the yogurt made of mashua and the arasa. Arasa is this acidic fruit from the Amazon rainforest. And the side dish, this white cold texture, is made from pitahaya. The yellow gelatin is made from miel de palo, which is from a smaller beers, and the various citric and the little crisp that you find that is made of mashua, but in a crispy texture.
That is very yogurty on the base. That is like intense, thick yogurt. The texture of this, honestly, if I was given this blind, I could swear it was beetroot. When you take tubers, you think more potato. It doesn't have that starchiness to it. It has that very soft, supple flesh. And those tubes as well are also the mashua. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Those Swiss roll-like slices of the mashua, I loved it. The yogurt on its own was a bit too intense for me. Not my favourite. This, on the other hand, again, not sure what to make of it. Very, very delightful.
So before we continue with the last course, that is Theobromas, I would like to show you our Theobroma laboratory.
Oh, please, I'll follow you.
Now, you're probably wondering what exactly are Theobromas, because I certainly was. So, for the next part of my experience, I'm handed over to Liliana for a crash course in the world of Theobromas. So, you know the cacao bean that's used to make all of our chocolate? Well, that's just one member of the Theobroma family, which is also home to a number of similar looking fruits, including macambo, espison, subicanum, and copo azul, among others. And whilst they share similar structure, that's pretty much where the similarities end. At Matter, they utilize all aspects of the products and not just the seeds like we do with the cacao. There's the membrane, the mucilage, and even the husks. Here, they're constantly exploring new ways to use every part. To help me understand things a little better, Liliana pours me a couple of juices made using the mucilage from the fruit, alongside a couple of chocolate alternatives. Although technically they can't be called chocolate because they don't contain any cacao. One is slightly sweeter and the other noticeably nuttier, whilst the juices themselves are thick, viscous, sweet, and almost reminiscent of that goopy pulp surrounding the seeds inside a honeydew melon. From there, I'm handed over to Nicholas and Diego in the Mussy Liquids lab, where all of their in-house creations are imagined, developed, and brought to life. From their own pot still through to a vacuum distiller, this is where all the experimenting happens. I settle in, and my schooling continues with a lesson in natural sweeteners, starting with a root vegetable, the yacon. First, I get to taste it as a fresh juice, then again after it's been pressure cooked. Here, they use this as a natural sweetener throughout many of their creations, and I even get to try the flesh of the root itself. And finally, to finish, I'm handed a spoonful of a different natural sweetener, this time made from caboya, a member of the agave family.
So the last pairing we have here, we use the fresh juice of the cacao, fermented, then it's distilled with vacuum, infused in subicanum, and finally, here we have a terfon, and same clothes we have inside the glass.
So for the last course, you understand much better about this power of Theobromas. We have on top of the cacao leaf, copo azul, carved by cacao leaf. In this yellow paper, we have different textures of Theobromas, a cacao, copo azul, and macambo. We have these three elaborations prepared with macambo. We have the seed, we have this corn grain, and then we have this sphere. Finally, my colleague has this cacao 72%. This is covered by a powder from the leaf, and then she had a stick from the same leaf as well. So recommendation for the last course is the strawberry sphere. This one has an ice texture inside.
That's a lovely nuttiness and saltiness there as well. Oh, this is excellent. And next up, we have these kind of ribbons. This looks like an aerated chocolate. Then underneath, very fruity, sweet, slight acidity, loads of crunchiness. I want to try just the aerated. Oh, that is excellent. Next is, almost looks like a creme brulee. Very creamy. Again, I'm struggling to describe half of these flavors. Loads of new foreign ingredients. I've just got no idea what's going on. Oh. Honestly, the texture is like a mousse, but at the same time, it has that egginess and creaminess that you'd expect from a creme brulee. It's wonderful. Wonderful. Wow. Now, onto this. This looks like a matcha chocolate brownie. That is a gooey, fudgy, yummy brownie. Honestly, no idea what's in it. Delicious. And for the final bite of today's menu. Interesting. Texturally, it's like a bean. Flavor-wise, slight sweetness, slight acidity, getting like notes of orange and very unique, very interesting. The whole plate as well. Like they've taken all these beans and just resin together. It's coffee time.
The total for lunch today, service included, came to just over 1,400 soles.
Honestly, this experience, you've got to come down here and try it for yourself. If my facial expressions don't say it all during the entire experience, then I don't know what will. I don't think I'm going to film an outro. I'm so shattered. The jet lag's catching up to me and I just want to go to sleep, even though it is only 4 p.m. The patience of the staff, everybody interacted with, the space, the food, the service, the aesthetic of the place. It's like being in a spa. I know it might be a little bit controversial. This is everything I wish Noma would have been. When you're taking experimental ingredients and you're putting it on a plate, here, everything had purpose. The technique used, the flavors that you got out of the things. It wasn't just like, oh, here's a foreign ingredient, we're gonna put it on your plate. The only thing I would say I didn't like, but personal preference, was the yogurt underneath mashua. It's such an eye-opening experience to be able to try all these new, unique, individual ingredients. And the takeaway for me was just amazing food. Amazing, amazing food. Aside that, everything, it's the intricacies, the artwork, the fabrics. It feels so personalized. I look around and there's so many things they could have shortcut and just things that people wouldn't have even noticed or commented on. Yet it seems that every single aspect, they've gone out of their way to do things the way that only they can do it and the way that only they want to do it. And I absolutely love it. And they've even printed a copy of my drinks pairing that I had today. And as always, thank you for watching. On to the next one. Goodbye.